There we go. And good evening, Pipips. If you are joining me, you are of course joining me for the first game of this week, which is GSE versus EVL. And I think it's going to be a smasher of the game. The guys are actually in, everybody's ready. So we're starting very well on time. These two very professional teams. If you are watching with me, guys, please also let me know on the chat where everything is okay on your side, whether the audio is good and the video is good and all sorts of stuff like that. I always appreciate it. And of course, tonight I'm going to start with saying that I need about 10 subs to get us to 1,300 subscribers. So if you are out there and you are watching the stream with us and you of course like what we are doing and you are not subscribed as yet, please remember to like this video. If you like what we are doing, of course, hit that subscribe button and also the bell to get your notifications whenever we go online. I really do appreciate that. So I'm just going to check with the teams whether everybody's ready. And then we are pretty much good to go. The maps for tonight, of course, we will be playing them in sequence. They will be Arklov, that's Arklov Peak that we were playing, Hackney Yard, and then Crash. And I'm just going to check ready with them. And then we will switch over. So just a quick run through on who's playing tonight. Of course, on the EVL side, we have Inseeker 707, which is why I'm casting alone. Of course, she's playing tonight. We have Mr. White over there. We have Stinkwater. Then we have Unguided, and we have Varswater Vis. And then, of course, RJ Riddle is also there. On the GSE side, we have Kylone, we have Calpone, we have Jules, we have BDN, we have Super Dan, and we have Ion. So those are the players playing tonight. And if you give me 1 second, I'm just going to check team readiness here. And it seems that everybody is ready. So I think we can get going. Very on time tonight. I love it. I love it. Right. Let's see how this first map pans out. Of course, we are playing Hardpoint. And that means first team to 250 points within the hard point will take the map, and of course points are only awarded for time inside the hard point, right? So for the purposes of the competition, kill points are not valid. So let's go, let's see. And I think let's start on the, well, I actually think we're going to see where it starts me off. And I think it might start me with the GSE side. I like the idea of making some alt accounts. That's always a fast way to get it. And I'm running here with Kylondi. There we go, Kylondi. I'm going to get your name right tonight. Let's just have a quick look at the map. Looks like... yeah, EVL is in there first. Kylone still has just died over there. Let me go with Calpone now. Calpone is on the hard point. There was a little bit of tickets earned there by EVL right in the beginning. Calpone does get taken out. It's run with Jules. Ooh, Jules is also there, so it will be sticking with Calpone. And I'm going to do one more GSE player, and then I'm going to switch over to the EVL side. Guys, if there's anybody specific that you would like us to spectate, please call it out in the stream and I will do my best. Calpone does get taken out there. Let's run with Jules for a little bit before we switch over to the EVL side. Oh, Jules gets the kill there. Actually, Jules gets the kill on Mr. White. And then he gets taken out by Unguided. So let's move over to the EVL side. And I think let's start at the top there. Run with Inseeker for a little bit. Inseeker has just died. So we'll move over to... actually, we'll get back onto her because she's respawned. So at the moment, GSE holding this point. But EVL has opened up a very small lead there. At the moment, very close. Inseeker just outside this point. Taking some hits, but... going in there. Oh, does get taken out. Let's go over to Mr. White. He's also not 100%. He's a little bit hurt. Covers the area by the river here at the bottom. So let's see what they can do here. EVL in the meantime has pushed a little bit closer onto that point, but GSE doing a very good job at defending it. Let's go with Stinkwater now. We run with him. He's also taken a couple of hits, still alive though. Dealing up here, he gets taken out. Stinkwater actually gets taken out by Calpone there. So let's go back over to the GSE side. And let's run with Super Dan. Super Dan is here in the hard point at the moment. He's actually leaving that now because the point will be rotating. Evil is right there at the point. So they will try and push into that. Super Dan gets taken out. Let's run with BD. He's on his way there to the hard point as well. In the meantime, Evil has taken the hard point. And they are churning some tickets back. Now up to 40. Again, GSE opening a small gap there. 66 tickets. I do think this game is going to be very, very, very close. I can't see big tickets in this game at all. Both these teams are very, very good at what they do. Oh, BD gets a reflex kill there. Very good. He's in a bit of an overwatch position. Does get a couple of hits, but it's still Evil on the point at the moment. Now GSE moving onto it, taking over that point. Getting some tickets back, opening up the gap a little bit further. Now on just over 70 tickets versus the 57 of Evil. But I think the point will rotate in about 7 seconds. And I suspect that Evil might have started moving over onto the rotation of the point now. Let's go back to Evil, because there will be a rotation. And I think there will be somebody in the rotation point already, or at least heading towards it. We've got Stinkwater here on the rotation point. So he's closed that door. What a smart move. Very well done. Oh, but it was also a bit of a non-helpful situation there. But we've got Seeker still on the point there, defending very well, getting 2 kills. Actually, sorry, my apologies. Only 1. That then does get taken out. Let's rotate with Mr. White. GSE has managed to fight Evil off that point. Now holding the point and stretching the tickets a little bit. Very, very close game at the moment. 85 versus the 27 from Evil. So very close. Evil pushing back into that point, and Mr. White getting the kill there. Now the point being contested. I think there's more Evil players here. They will take back that point, and the tickets then running back up for Evil. Oh, Mr. White gets taken out there by a grenade. Running with Stinkwater, who gets taken out with Unguided, who's on the point. Also gets the kill there on BD. Still on the point. Oh, he gets taken out from the side. Moving back over to the GSE side because we've got Kylo now on the point, so I'm with him. And he's moved over. He does get taken out by N-Seeker. So let's switch back to Calpone. He's pushing towards that hard point. Does get taken out. Running with Jules now. Also pushing into the hard point. EVL holding this hard point. Running some tickets back up. It is being contested. 100 tickets versus the 90 tickets now of Evil. Evil still holding the point. It is being contested now as well by Super Dan. He's on the point also. I'm going to run with him. He does get the kill on Falswater. He gets some hits on him. Pulls out the stem. He's not completely on the point at the moment, but he is right there. He does get taken out. Moving back over to the Evil side. And actually, I think let's run with Iron. I haven't run with Iron tonight, so we'll first run with Iron a little bit. Guys, if you are watching the stream with me tonight, thank you very much for joining. I really do appreciate the support. This is, I think, going to be an exceptionally close game between GSE and EVL. Both these teams are exceptionally good, and I think it's going to be a close game at the moment. EVL with a slight lead on this first map of 114 tickets. EVL has managed to claw back some tickets, holding the hard point now and gaining some tickets back, and very soon it's going to be equal. Let's just see what's happening here with Iron. He's a little bit far out from the point, so I think he's having a bit of an overwatch position. The point being contested now, but Evil's still holding it. Now a couple of tickets ahead with the point being contested. We've got Super Dan there in the point. I think he's trying to win that back. We've got Riddle from Evil, who does get taken out, and Super Dan and BD now both on the point, clawing back these tickets and opening up a little bit of a gap here now again for GSE. 128, it's going to be 130 tickets versus the 117 from Evil as the point is going to rotate. And I can see some of the players have already moved off the point. There's already GSE players on the next rotation, so they will maintain that ticket count. Now going to around 145 versus the 117 of EVL. Both these teams playing exceptionally well. I'm going to move over to the EVL side a little bit, and I'm going to move on to, let's go with RJ Riddle for the moment. That is a very difficult point to try and get once it's being defended, because it's right there in sort of a little bucket, and you've got clear cover basically on both sides of the point. Oh, and that deserves a slow-mo replay. Let's give that. And who is that getting killed? Oh my word. And that is RJ Riddle getting taken out there by Jules. And RJ getting his 5 seconds of fame there. So running now with Fast Fis. So at the moment, guys, if you look at the scoreboard, a couple of guys doing very, very well with inside that hard point. We've got a couple of the GSE players, Kailondi and Calpone, over 2 minutes in that hard point. On the evil side, it's Nseeker and Unguided at the moment, who has the most time inside the hard point. Evil now pushing onto this hard point quite hard. There is a couple of Evil players in there. It's 198 versus the 120 tickets of EVL now. So if they can move on these two next hard points, Evil still has an opportunity to claw this back. It's going to be hard if GSE fights them off the point. Now 205 tickets versus the 119 of EVL. Let's have a look at what Stinkwatervis is doing over here. He's running towards the hard point. It is not taken at the moment, so EVL might come in and take that back, get a couple of tickets in there. They do indeed take the point, but it does rotate, and we've got Evil already together with GSE on the next point, but I think Evil might get onto that point first. Ooh, no, they don't. They do get taken out. So Stinkwater now heading over to the point over here. It's very well covered by GSE, but EVL does manage to get in there. It's 130 tickets now for EVL versus 211 for GSE. GSE pushing in very, very hard on this point, and I think they might contest it, and they do. They actually do take it over there, pushing Evil off the point, but Evil doesn't back down. It's very contested at the moment. Right in there, Mr. White's in the point, does get one kill. Is he going to get another one? Does get the second kill as well. Oh, let's have a look. Sorry, my apologies. That was actually, the second kill was by Unguided, who managed to get that kill. So 145 tickets now versus 216 as Mr. White gets taken out, running with Stinkwater now, who's a little bit further out of the point. The point is being contested, but it is rotating now, and Evil is right there, but so is GSE. Who will get to this point first? It does look like GSE. And they are running up the tickets 225 now versus the 145 by EVL. But EVL pushing back into this point, now being contested. Stinkwater gets taken out, running with Mr. White. And actually I'm going to go over to the GSE side. And I'm going to try and get onto Iron. If he stays alive, he indeed does not. He dies. So running with Super Dan now. We've got Kylone there on the point at the moment, running it up, and I do think that this map is going to go to GSE. There we go. So guys, the first map, very, very exciting. I think it's about 100 ticket difference between the two teams there, but definitely I think EVL was pushing exceptionally hard on those points. GSE doing a tremendous job in once they had a point in defending that, and the score there being 250 versus the 146 to EVL. So I'm going to just go to the screen over there, and I'm going to update that for you guys. So let's just put that down. That's 250 for GSE, and this is after the first map versus the 146 by EVL. So let's just update that for you, and you can see the scores over there. So let's check on the next map. And what I would like to do just before I go on to the next map is just show you guys the final scoreboard, and we can have a very quick look there. People that stand out for gaining some points in the hard point. On the GSE side, it's Calpone and Kailondi, and on the evil side, obviously the people to call out there is Nseeker and of course Unguided. They both spent some good time in the hard point there, but GSE taking it 250 versus the 146. So I'm going to confirm whether the guys are ready. Of course, the next map that we will play will be Hackney Yard. So we'll pull that up very quickly. And that'll be Hackney Yard. And I think we are ready to go. Just waiting for the team's confirmation. And we will get on to the second map, which is Hackney Yard. So Let's have a quick look. EVL has confirmed that they are ready. We're just waiting for GSE to confirm, and then we will get this map kicked off. There we go, both teams have confirmed. We are playing Hackney Yard, and let's kick off this game and see how it goes. So time to have a quick look at some comments. How does the team enter these matches? And this is Mo Musa. Mo Musa, I assume that you are new to Clan Wars. So very quickly, Clan Wars of course runs seasonal games, and there is periods where teams can register. The next season will start in about 6 weeks from now, when we will register for season 3. And if you are on the Facebook page, you will see information coming through on how to do that registration. But if you would like to get on the waiting list so long, there's about 11 teams on the waiting list as we speak, and that is of course excluding the 21 teams that are partaking now in season 2. Please drop us a message there on the Facebook page, that is Call of Duty ZA, and we will be in touch to get your details and get you the comp. Oh, and Kailandi gets taken out. Let's run with Fuzzwater here for a second, who does get taken out as well. So switching over to Stinkwater. Of course, at the moment, GSE has opened this map with taking that first hard point, holding it for a little bit. It is being contested, now being taken over by EVL. So EVL now has the point, trying to close this 11 ticket gap that GSE has managed to open. Again, guys, if you have joined me for tonight, you've joined me for the game between GSE and EVL. And it's for the moment it's a cracker. The first map did go to GSE. We are now on the second map, and EVL putting up a very strong showing here against the boys from GSE. But both these teams exceptionally good, and a very fast-paced game. And let's run with NCP for a little bit. Guys, again, if there's somebody specific in the chat that you would like me to spectate, I'm trying to also keep my eye on the chat. Let me know, and I will do my best to spectate that person if they manage to stay along for alive for long enough. And yeah, as I said, if you are joining me tonight, thank you very much for that. We really appreciate the support. I'm trying to get to 1,300 subscribers tonight, so I need about 10 to do that. So if you are not subscribed to the channel as yet, please hit that little subscribe button. Also hit the bell to get your notifications whenever we go online. And of course, if you like what we are trying to do, give us a like on this video. Good feedback is always appreciated. At the moment, it is GSE holding that hard point, and they are running up the tickets with about 80 tickets versus the 9 tickets of EVL at the moment. So GSE doing a really good job at defending this point that they are holding. I'm going to switch over to Kailani, who's on the hard point at the moment. This is an exceptionally hard or difficult hard point to take. So whichever team gets there first normally has a bit of an advantage, because you've got the height advantage and the fact that there's really only 2 ways into that hard point, both being via stairs. So it's quite difficult taking that back. But the point has now rotated. There is some GSE guys already on the point. Does get taken out there. Let's switch over, go back to Jules for a little bit. Jules is up there. He is pushing into that hard point as well, but he does get the kill on Fuzzwater. He's in a bit of an overwatch position, gets another kill there on Inseeker and another one on Super Dan. So a bit on a streak here. So Jules doing very well. I think he's playing with this MP7. So doing a good job. GSE pushing into that hard point, and definitely this is it seems to be a favorite map for GSE. They're doing very well. They know the rotations on this map also very well. Oh, it does get taken out. Let's go with run with BD for a little bit. We haven't seen a lot of him tonight. He's on the roof. Does get taken out there. Let's switch back over to the EVL side, and I think we will go with Mr. White when we get there. So running with Mr. White. Mr. White pushing into the hard point here. Does now take it over. Running up some tickets, gets a double kill there. So Mr. White still on the point, still holding his being contested. Oh, he does get taken out. Let's run with Unguided. So Unguided just outside the hard point here. I think Unguided is waiting because he is anticipating the hard point to move. Let's run with Fuzzwater while Unguided is there. I'm not sure if Unguided has been disconnected or what the issue is. He's standing a little bit still there. Let's go back to Mr. White. Over there. And Mr. White does get taken out, running with N-Seeker now. See there's some messages from the group coming through, so I'm just checking with them whether there's any disconnections going on. It doesn't seem that way. Point now being contested again, and actually no, it's one of the evil players was on there, but he was pushed off. Still with Mr. White now. GSE holding the point with 175 tickets. It will now be versus 35 tickets of EVL. Mr. White does get taken out, going back over to the GSE side. I'm going to run with Iron for a little bit. He gets the kill there on Stinkwater. He's going to head up into this point. And he's a little bit far over, but of course in the meantime the hard point being left there by the evil players, so GSE running up some points on the last bit of the hard point before it will rotate again. So still running with Iron, and I must say that this map not as close as the first one. In the first map, evil had a lot closer lead here to GSE, about 100 ticket difference. On this map, so a slightly bigger difference here at the moment. And I think GSE has had a convincing showing on Hackney Yard. They are pushing into the hard point now again. Let's go down and go over to the GSE side for a little bit. And we'll run with Kailandi. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name sometimes. Oh, he does get taken out. So let's run with Calpone. He's also pushing in, also dies. Let's go with Jules. He gets a very good double kill there. There's a grenade kill as well from the other side. And I think that grenade kill came from Mr. White actually. But GSE now in the point. The tickets are ticking very, very fast. And this map will go to GSE. So very, very well done there to GSE. That will be end score there of 250 points to GSE versus the 40 of Evil. So definitely on that map, GSE with a very convincing showing. Again, I don't think it reflects how well Evil played. It was just GSE getting into those defensive positions and then not letting go of it at all. So I'm going to update the scores here very quickly. That will then of course be 500 to GSE taking the first and the second map, and it will be 186 to Evil. So let's just update that for you guys, and you can of course see the final scoreboard there. Again, the guys to call out there, I think in this case Kailandi again together with Calpone, both with well over 1 minute in the hard point. On the Evil side, again Mr. White there with quite some good time, as well as N-Seeker inside the point, and also of course Unguided. But as I said, I don't think it's a really good reflection on how well these two teams have played. I think in this case GSE got onto the points and then really defended them well, but of course Evil pushing hard on those points. So guys, if you have just joined us, we are going into the third and final map. Let's just quickly see what the group is saying. They're saying we might need one sub, and this is of course on the Evil side, and I think that was Unguided, right? So let's just give them a minute and just check if they are going to sub Unguided. He was standing still there, we spectated that. There we go. Guys, again, if you are joining me for tonight, thank you very much for joining. This is indeed a very exciting game. It is of course a Division 1 game. And the game is between GSE and EVL. Up to now, GSE has taken both maps that have been played. We are going into the third map, but the first map, of course, very close. The second map, not so close. Again, I don't think it reflects how well these two teams are playing. I think GSE had a very good strategy when they took the hard points. They had good defensive positions and just didn't allow the EVL guys in there. So while we're waiting for them to confirm whether they are going to sub Unguided, let's just go through the list of players again. On the Evil side tonight, we have N-Seeker 707, Mr. White, we have Stinkwater Fist, we have Unguided there who might be subbed. we have Fashvalter Fiss, and we have RJ Riddle. On the GSE side, we have Kailondi, we have Calpone, we have Jules playing there, we have BDN, Super Dan, and Ion. So those are the 2 teams playing, and if you guys give us a minute, we will confirm. And it does indeed look like Unguided might be subbed. At the moment, we still have 6 players in there for EVL, and we have the 6 players for GSE, and we're just going to give them 1 minute to let us know whether they are actually going to sub the player. Of course, in the meantime, I'm going to switch the maps, because the 3rd and final map will of course be on Crash. So this is a very difficult map actually, not one of my personal favorites, but it is a good map to watch. It is a very good map to watch. So we're just going to give the guys a minute, guys. Thank you for allowing us this opportunity to just check with the guys. We would, of course, would not like to see any players drop off because of connection issues. And we're just going to take a moment and give them a minute to let us know. At the moment, I've not seen a new EVL player entering as yet. So I think they are looking to sub Unguided, who in the previous game was lagging quite heavily. So let's just quickly check. Guys, again, if you have joined me for tonight, thank you very much. If you want to call out in the chat whether you are present and accounted for, you are more than welcome to do so. Also, of course, you can call out anybody that you would like me to spectate once the next game starts, and I will do my best to get to them. I'm trying to quickly go through some of the comments here and welcome some people on the stream. Obviously, we've got Mr. Lois here, we've got who else is here? Alicia's here, Pink Gaming is here, we've got Seth who's joined us as well, we've got Ethan who joined us, Amir, who else? Fluffy Chicken is there, we've got RA from EVL who joined us as well, we've got Mo Musa. Of course, he had a question about the league and how teams get to register in the league, and I hope I answered that question. And yes, we've got Robin here who agrees with me, and I'm glad Robin also says that. I don't think the score actually shows how close things were during the game, and I totally agree with you, Robin. Then we've got Tyrell FNX45. Yo, also a difficult name. We've got Gerard, we've got Barry here, Robin I already called out, and then we've got Flamehound from Divine Gaming, I believe. So how's it, guys? Thank you very much for joining. At the moment, the EVL team are just looking to sub. They've indeed got their sub in, and everybody's ready. So we will start the 3rd and final map, which of course will be on Crash. So we've got Fluffy here saying Jules and Super Dan killing it, and yes, they are 2 monsters, those 2. Right. So guys, we are going on to the 3rd and final map for tonight. And some good scores being put up on the board tonight between the 2 teams. Again, I don't think really the score reflects how well these 2 teams are playing each other. GSE has a very, very good defensive strategy. And EVL, hopefully on this map, will come back and push those hard points a little bit more. And let's start and run with Super Dan for a little bit. He was called out as one of the beast players, so we are going to run with him. His grenade goes out. Oh, he does get taken out there. Let's try and switch over to Jules for a moment. So Jules taking up a bit of a defensive position behind that barrel there. He's going to head up and down the back corridor. At the moment, it is Evil holding that point. It is being contested, so Evil opened up a little bit of a gap here, about 15 tickets now. But GSE pushing in very, very hard on that hard point, and it is being contested yet again. So at the moment, the hard point not being held by anyone. Evil manages to get GSE off the point there. They do get a little bit of a multiplier. So 26, 27 tickets now with EVL still holding this point. GSE now contesting and indeed taking the point, but EVL pushing them off that point very quickly. Now holding the point again, running up to around 40 tickets, but I can see some of the GSE players hanging back, and I think they are waiting for the rotation, which will be in about 5 seconds. So nobody holding the point. GSE taking the opportunity to take it and get a few tickets back in there, and the point does rotate, but with EVL waiting on the rotation. So EVL does get the point. I'm going to try and move over to some of the EVL players now, and let's run with Wand. And Wand is of course the new sub within the team. He didn't play in the first 2 games. He has now subbed and is in the team now for EVL in place of I want to say Unsullied, but that's wrong. In place of Unguided. There we go. So Wand now there, and indeed getting the kill as well. So Wand taking up position here, bit of an Overwatch defensive position. EVL holding this point, now running it up to about 80 tickets. So definitely they know the rotations on this map quite well. One does get taken out there, so let's move back up to who is on the hard point, and that'll be Mr. White. So Mr. White getting some good points for his team. There has about another 8 seconds left, so they can take this to around 100 tickets, but I see GSE has moved off and they have done the rotation already. They obviously know where the next rotation is because there's already GSE players with on the rotation point, and they will now start running up their tickets. This is a very, very difficult point to take back once you've had it, or if you have it, it's yours to lose really, because it's inside that room, which makes it quite difficult for players entering. So maybe some grenades are going in there. That's possibly the only way that you can flush players out of that hard point. Now running with Fuzzbart first, and then we'll switch back over to GSE. And let's go with who's on the hard point. We're running with Calpone. So let's have a quick look here. Calpone still on the point. GSE holding this quite well. Again, a very difficult hard point to lose once you have it, because you're very well protected from all sides. You have to cover 2 doors or 2 entrances. So 55 tickets now versus the 99 of EVL. Of course, GSE taking those first 2 maps. Calpone does get taken out. Kailandi still on the point, does get the kill, does get 3 kills. Trip kill there for Kailandi, so very well done. Let me give him a slow play on that. So he gets that trip kill over there. You can see that on the replay cam. So still running with Kailandi. In the meantime, the hard point has rotated and EVL did hold it for a couple of seconds. They are actually on that point at the moment. He does get taken out. So again, we've got Mr. White there. I'm going to run with RJ Little, who's sliding into the point here. Gets his grenade off. He goes into a defensive position. EVL holding this point now at 100, and it will be 120 tickets versus the 69 tickets of GSE. But GSE pushing in very, very hard. Little getting a kill there. Still holding the point, doing some very good cover work. GSE pushing in with some very, very big numbers, and I think they might actually be able to push EVL off the point, and indeed they do. So let's go over back to the GSE point. This is Calpone now on the point. GSE has managed to push EVL off this point, get some tickets back. The rotation has happened, but EVL has moved onto the rotation and gaining tickets back. Calpone's still here. He does get taken out, unfortunately. Let's run with Jules. He's going to be pushing towards this hard point from the top. Very, very good positioning, but does get taken out. Running with BD now, again pushing in. The hard point's not being held by anyone at the moment. EVL does manage to get it for a second, but then contested by GSE. So GSE now holding the point, and I'm going to move on to Kailoni, who's on the point at the moment. So he's holding the point, running some tickets back. He gets taken out, so the point will be taken back now. I'm going to run with Stinkwatervis, or Stinkwater, sorry, and Fuzzwatervis are the 2 guys. Stinkwater gets a good kill there on Jules, but does get taken out. Fuzzwatervis now. He's a little bit outside of the point. The point has just rotated. There is a GSE player on the point already, and that GSE player is Super Dan. So, sorry, that's the last bit of the point. The point will now rotate, and we of course have Fuzzwatervis here now on the point. So he is getting some tickets back there. He just has to make sure that he doesn't move out of that point. Tickets is being contested. 152 versus the 99. GSE has pushed EVL off the point. And who is on the point? It's Calpone. So it looks like Calpone is dedicated to do that point, running with Jules now. So these 2 teams really, really having fun. at the moment, and the score really reflects that. It's not a very big gap at the moment, but EVL is opening up that gap slightly. As I say that, we've got GSE who's contesting the point. Let's head over to the EVL side again a little bit. And I think let's give Seeker some airtime. So running with Seeker, she's coming up the back corridor. Has a plan here to try and push the guys off of the... or actually try and get into that defensive position so they can't manage to get onto the hard point. But we've got EVL on the hard point now, running it up to 170 tickets versus the 108 of GSE. So definitely EVL defending a lot better in this map than on the first two, because GSE is launching onslaught after onslaught on this hard point, and EVL managing to keep them off it for the moment. It was contested there for a second. Now again, Insec are doing some very good work there. Now running with Mr. White, he's going to go into that point. Again, it's contested but held by GSE for the moment. GSE has now been pushed off. EVL back into it. EVL will now run it up to around 200 tickets. I think the GSE guys holding back a little bit now, waiting for the next rotation. It does indeed look that way. Everybody has moved to the north side of the map. EVL on 205 tickets versus the 118 of GSE, and that map point will rotate, or the hard point will now rotate, and it is rotating up towards the north side of the map where a lot of players have moved to already, but it is GSE on that point and they are holding it now. It is not being contested for the moment, so GSE running up a little bit of tickets and closing that gap that EVL has managed to open. 135 tickets now when they get pushed off, but they are right there at the moment. The point not being contested. 212 for EVL, and Mr. White gets taken out. Let's run with one for a little bit. He's not gotten a lot of airtime because he just joined the game. He's of course the sub player for the EVL player that was having some connection issues. One does get the kill there, very good. So EVL on the point, but it is being contested at the moment, and GSE manages to push EVL off, but one is right back in here. He gets the kill and gets some final tickets there for EVL. EVL will now run it up to 220 versus the 149 for GSE. They might actually get it to 125. The point is rotating and immediately contested. Both teams were on that point. Very, very well played. And both teams get taken out, and EVL at the end is left standing on that point, running with Delto now. Point being uncontested, EVL being taken off, with GSE now contesting or being on the point, running up the tickets. 155 versus the 236 from EVL. And this is an absolute onslaught by both teams. These guys are playing so well on this map. It's a beautiful thing to watch at the moment. So GSE in the points there, closing that gap. 175, it'll go up to 175 tickets versus the 236 from EVL. Everybody is pushing exceptionally hard on this hard point, and what a nice map to watch here at the end. It is being heavily contested by EVL. They are pushing like crazy onto this point, but I think at the moment nobody's holding it, but I think GSE might slip in there for a last one or two tickets. They will take it up to around 187 before the point rotates, but now it rotates and EVL is already on the next one, and that is of course Mr. White, who ran up to the rotation. He does get taken out, so the point uncontested. Very short contested there by GSE, but of course Fastwaterfist right on there, taking GSE off the point. And there we go. EVL takes the third map, 250 versus the 188 of GSE. What an exceptionally close map. And I think, to be honest, it's only really the second map there that was a bit of a big gap. I think the first map was exceptionally well played. It was very good. And so that'll be 500 for GSE for the first two maps, plus the 188 that they have earned in the third map, and that will be 688 will be their final score. So I'm going to just update that for you guys. While I'm doing that, you can look at the current score showing there on the board. So that will be 688. Then of course EVL earned 186 in the first two maps, plus the 250 that they have earned now, which means that EVL will end up on 436 points for tonight. And just the guys to call out before I show you the final call screen there. Kailoni and Calpone, again, the two guys scoring there for GSE in the hard points, and Mr. White, Fuzzwater Fizz, and it looks like Wand for this map did exceptionally well in getting that score up. So guys, if you're looking at the screen there, you can see the final score: 688 for GSE and 436 for EVL. Of course, all these scores count towards the league table. If you want to know what's going on the league, remember to join us this weekend for the recap show, when we will show you how the games for the week has influenced the league tables. Of course, we are in week 7, leading up to a 10-week league for the finals. So again, join us this Sunday to have a bit of a view at what the league tables look like. For tonight, if you have joined me, I really appreciate you guys joining. If you're already subscribed to the channel, thank you so much. If you are not, to hit that little subscribe button, also the bell to get your notifications. And of course, if you like what we are doing, remember to hit the like button. It's always good to get some really cool feedback. Guys, from my side, I think that is all we had for tonight. It was a really, really great game to watch. The first map very close with GSE taking that. The second map, there was a bit of a bigger gap, but GSE taking that as well. And of course, the third map, again, an exceptionally close game between these two very, very good teams, with EVL taking the third and final map. And that's what we had. Guys, thank you very much for joining. I'm Yakusal for Battle Bros. Leave no one standing.